Well, look at us. We made it to another year, 2023. How are you doing? What's going on with the business? What are your thoughts on the current real estate market and what is ahead? Let's talk about it. Transaction Care, the podcast. Welcome home to the #1 real estate show on the market. I am your host and resident care coordinator, Lillian Hernandez, but you can call me Lily. My goal with each episode of Transaction Care is to demystify the business of real estate from my point of view and interviews from other voices within the real estate industry around the world. I'm giving you the keys. There are no gatekeepers here. I'll be honest, I'm not sprinting out the gate this time of the year. I think the end and the beginning of the year is a crucial time for myself to get things in order, to sleep more, to gather my thoughts, and process my feelings of the past and present times. Of course, this can happen at any point in time for myself or anyone, but the beginning of the year is one of those unanimous times we all can agree upon as a more quieter or calmer season. Of course, there's nothing wrong with sprinting out the gate at the top of the year, especially if you are fully prepared and ready and that is your mindset and your goal. Go for it. Keep going, actually. But always make sure you're checking in with yourself, because if your mind isn't right, there's a good chance everything else can fall to the wayside. So take care of you this year. One of my biggest goals this year is to treat everything like a full-time business. For instance, me as a transaction coordinator, I've gone through highs and lows with closings, dead deals, with listings just sitting on the market or eventually expiring. And it can be discouraging, of course, because we always want to get paid at the end of each transaction, but that's unfortunately the territory that we are in. And for me, moving forward, I want to treat everything like a full-time business, regardless of how many or the quantity. I want to focus on the quality of my work, the quality of my communication, the quality of my templates, the quality of my time management. And it's important even if I have one transaction or even none, or maybe I have 10,000. Has anyone ever done 10,000 transactions in a year? Let me know in the comments. But it's my goal this year to up my mentality and elevate my mindset around my business. Whether I'm working in transactions, working on this podcast, working on my YouTube channel, or other avenues of my business that I'm truly dedicated and focused on accomplishing this year. What are some of your business goals in 2023? I know a lot of us can fall into that new year, new me trap, but let's really break it down. New year, yes, it's here. It's the inevitable. We can't ignore it. But the new me part takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of commitment. You will cry. You will laugh. You will celebrate. You will want to hide in a cave and not show your face ever again. In order to grow and change in this new year, in this new season of your life, we're going to have to do things that are uncomfortable, or things that are unfamiliar, or things we may not even have ever heard of. For me, that was hiring a coach, joining a business community of like-minded people. That was stepping outside of my comfort zone and reading every day, journaling every day, facing my feelings and my fears head on so that I could move forward and not be stuck in this hitting a wall every single day or week as to why I can't move forward or feeling like I'm in a hamster wheel. I can't emphasize or stress anymore how beneficial hiring a coach has been for me in my life and in my business. Are you working with a coach? Are you a coach? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to have a discussion. I would also love to have my coach on here, my coaches. So stay tuned for that. But in the meantime, there are things that we're going to need to do in order to prosper and progress in life. This new version of me was not overnight. I hired my coach in 2021, and from then to today, I'm still working on myself, and I'm discovering new versions and new things about me that I didn't know existed or that I was capable of doing. And that was because I'm putting in the work every day to learn myself and to build my toolkit of resources. So when I do get into those situations where I feel myself falling back into my old habits, I'm able to ask myself the proper questions or to really dig deep as to why I'm behaving this way or thinking this way, or why I feel discouraged in my business. What can I do to start fresh or redo this whole situation in order to move forward in life? And one of those areas is definitely confidence. How do I gain confidence to even start a podcast? How do I have the confidence to show my face on camera or to continue to run my transaction coordinator business for 5 years? 2023 is my 5th year of doing business on my own, and it went by so quickly. So enjoy every moment, invest in yourself, And if you are struggling out there with your business or starting a business or even your job, your 9 to 5, whether it's in real estate, the medical field, sports, whatever it may be, give yourself the grace to know that you are still in the right place. Even if it doesn't feel like it, even if you feel lost or confused or lacking the confidence, or you are lacking the confidence that you think you need to belong in the room or to have a certain job or a certain position in the industry that you're working on. Or maybe you are going to do a complete 360 and go all the way left and start a whole new career from the ground up. What I love about life is that we have the power to do any of those things we set our mind to and are devoted to and want to accomplish. And in order to gain that confidence, it's important that we do the research and we study and we ask questions. For instance, this year, 2023, it's January, a lot of this has started in the last couple of months, but our contracts, our disclosures, our checklists, this is a great time for real estate professionals who are feeling a bit insecure or unsure about if they're doing their job right. The best way to conquer that fear or that insecurity is to go straight to the source. Learn your contracts, go to your board, read the websites, join their newsletters, learn the terminology. It may take a while, but the more you incorporate it into your daily activity and your daily language and speaking, the easier it will be to maneuver through those difficult times when you're unsure about yourself or you don't feel like you're capable of being the best transaction coordinator or the best realtor. Learning your contract is the best place to start. Even if you're just curious about entering in real estate, if you know someone in the real estate industry, or if you can find a way to access the contract or contracts for your neighborhood, your city, your county, your state, study them. It's the best way in. It's a good starting point, and you can get an idea of what we're working with within this industry and how things operate. And then you could, work up from there. Break down the bigger goal into smaller tasks so it's easier and less overwhelming. Start with your contracts, read the contracts. Maybe you need to get your real estate license. Who do you need to talk to? What companies do you need to go through? Are you going to do it in person? Are you going to do it online? This is a good time for you to ask yourself those questions and seek the answers and then take action. Let's take more action this year, you guys, and not be so afraid of failure. I have a quote right in front of me that says, "Life begins where fear ends." I am determined this year to annihilate my insecurities. I'm still going to have those doubts and those fears, of course, but I don't want them to take up so much of my brain and my heart and my body and my actions to the point where I do nothing. And I'm destroying my comfort zone along with it. Yeah, those two, out of here. Home run. See ya. So for anyone out there looking to feel a little bit more confident, reading is the key. Absorbing information, doing your research, asking questions. I can't emphasize this enough. Also, this is a good time for you to update your checklists and your templates. Get yourself in position to where once things get going, you don't have to go backwards and fix everything and be so overwhelmed. You've already fixed things, you've adjusted, you've updated, and you may only have to go back and do a few minor adjustments versus a whole laundry list of things that could have been done when you had the downtime. Utilize your time wisely. Your future self will thank you for it. I guarantee it. And if you're in a position where you don't have any checklists or you're not sure where to begin, seek the answers. You can contact me, you can contact other transaction coordinators. One of my best resources that I love to share with people is Facebook groups. There are a bunch of Facebook groups out there. You can just search the word real estate transaction coordinator, especially for transaction coordinators. I think there are some of the best groups on there where you can really just forge a great community. And I don't know a lot of these men and women and people within the groups, but when we do communicate, it's as if we've known each other for decades, which I love. And I think that's a big part of what everyone should be focusing on this year as well, is building a community of like-minded people, a community of people you can talk to, seek answers from, vent to, relate to, or just forge brand new friendships. You don't know where it will take you, but community is very important when you are running a business or working within an industry that can sometimes feel isolated or lonely. I suggest, you don't have to take my advice, but I do suggest forming a community this year will be beneficial to you and your life and your business, hands down. How is your marketing? How are you advertising yourself? How are you letting people know that you are in business or that this is what you do for a living? Tell people. Start with your family and friends and then allow those ripple effects to play itself out. And don't just tell them once. I've worked in real estate going on now over 15 years, almost 20. Actually, 2023 is my 19th year in real estate. And I think it wasn't until the last 5 years that people thought I worked in mortgages. They thought I was a lender. And when I say people, I mean my closest family and friends. So don't feel bad or don't get offended if people don't fully understand what you do for a living. You just have to keep reminding them or show them proof of concept. Show them, hey, this is what I do. Maybe take them on a tour of a home one day, or show them your website, give them a business card. One thing about being an entrepreneur is that most people aren't going to fully comprehend or understand, or may not even support what you're doing, because to them it could look like something that they may admire or resent. And unfortunately, the resenting part is a part of the territory. And I don't put too much weight into those that don't support me, because there are a plethora of people that do support me, whether I know them or not. And going back to forming a community, that's where your community comes in, plays a huge role in the progress and the enjoyment of running a business, because it can be lonely. Entrepreneurship is lonely, even if you have a giant team. But if you're the lead, if you're the one in charge, sometimes it can just be lonely. To prevent some of those feelings, it's okay to talk about your business. It's okay to admit when you're wrong. It's okay to admit when you're right. It's okay to have fun along that journey, to celebrate all of the wins, big and small. Because is there truly a finish line? Are we ever fully done with something, or are we always refining it, adjusting it, tweaking it? So it's important to normalize celebrating each milestone, big and small. Feel the joy and don't delay your enjoyment. Gratitude is present. Success is present. You got this. A couple more things I think we should all be focusing on this year is our money, budgeting, taxes. Where are we allocating our money? How much do we need to save? Do we have separate bank accounts? Do we have a business bank account? Do we do our taxes quarterly? All of that. It's important. That also plays into our confidence. Are we scared when it comes to money? Are we scared when it comes to tax season? Do you need to incorporate? Do you need to get trademarks? All of that takes time. Once you submit your applications, you could be waiting weeks or months. In some states, it could be sooner than others, but I'm in California. I submitted my trademark last year, and it took almost half a year for me to get it approved. I'm submitting another one, and I know it's going to take time. So the sooner I do it, the better. And it does cost money. I think I paid over $1,000 for my trademark last year. So keep that in mind, but they are tax write-offs. So get you a good accountant, bookkeeper, and allow that part of your business to be strong. Don't let the money fall to the wayside, or to allow that to be a block or a scary point in your career. Let's face it together. And honestly, I've had conversations with the IRS back in the day. I was so terrified about a situation with my taxes, but I figured, you know what, let me just go straight to the source. I don't want to ignore this. I don't want to get locked up. It wasn't that bad, but I was young and in my 20s, and I said, you know what, I'm just going to call them. I called them and they said, yeah, you do owe us this much. You were actually supposed to check this box when you did your taxes, which is why you now owe us this much, but you don't have to pay it right away. We can do payments. And I felt so much relief because I went straight to the source. I got the answers. And instead of having this scary monster on my shoulder lingering in the unknown, they told me I can make payments. So it wasn't as scary as I made it to be out in my head. So it's important to face any fears within your business that may seem too big or too scary, and find out what your options are. Explore those options and find the best scenario for you in order to function and operate as smoothly as possible. Clear the chaos in 2023. Let's do it. And finally, your mind. Your mind is precious. Your mind is golden. I know we can wake up stressed. We can wake up overwhelmed. But just know you do have the power and the control to slow things down or speed them up, depending on what your goals are this year or that day. Sometimes making goals for the whole year can also be overwhelming and can stop you in your tracks or create insecurities like, oh my God, it just feels too much. It feels like too much. Okay, then let's just get through today. Let's get through what we can do in the next 5 minutes, right? You're waking up out of bed, stretch, drink water, breathe, count your blessings. Allow yourself to have peace for at least 5 minutes every single day. If you can do more, even better. But give yourself that time to just be still as often as you can. It doesn't have to be every day. I know everyone's lives are different and demand different things. So don't feel discouraged if you can't get that in every day. Just find your peace at some point within the day and allow that to compound over time. And make sure you're advocating for yourself. If something feels off or something feels right, bring it to attention. Talk things out, schedule meetings, cancel meetings, whatever is going to make your mind feel good and feel right, as well as still continue to allow your life to progress and your business to thrive and flourish. You are your best advocate. I can't stress that enough. You are your best advocate. You know what is right for you at that moment, for the short term and the long term. Listen to your instincts, listen to your soul. It's okay. You may hurt people along the way. You may help people along the way. But most importantly, take care of you. That's all I have for today's episode. Thank you again for listening to the Transaction Care Podcast. My name is Lillian, aka Lily like the flower. Yes, like the flower. We're growing, we're blossoming together. If you haven't already, head to transactioncarepodcast.com. Join my community. I send weekly newsletters updating you with what's going on. You get major exclusives there. People in my community knew about the podcast months before I even launched it. They even got a sneak peek of one of the episodes. So you definitely want to be a part of my community and what is coming up next. If you are interested in merch, what size are you? Let's talk about it. T-shirts, hoodies, mugs. What should I drop? Let me know. I'd love to hear your feedback and let's work on this together. So remember, care for yourself, care for your wealth. Your time is worth it. Let's coordinate. Talk soon.